The following is a Papi Chulo Radio original program. The views and opinions expressed in the commentaries and or interviews in the following program are solely of the individuals and are not the views of Papi Chulo Radio, its parent, affiliate, or subsidiary companies.
Welcome to Are You Afraid Coven, the unofficial American Horror Story Coven internet radio show exclusively on Papi Chulo Radio. Today is Wednesday, December 18th, 2013, and I am your host, Papi Chulo. Here on Are You Afraid Coven, we're going to recap, review, and dissect the latest episode of the hit FX series. We're going to deliver directly to you the biggest news regarding American Horror Story Coven. So you're going to get all of the casting scoops, episode titles, ratings reports, and spoilers during the latter half of the show. Don't worry, we're going to warn you with the spoiler alert. Please welcome my co-host. First up, we have a woman who loves a good melon ball. It's Cat's Meow.
Well, the show just started and I'm already tired of you.
It still wasn't as epic as last week's intro.
Whatever, you're a fucking dick.
Next up, we have a man who left the swamp for a deluxe academy in the sky high. Marshall Evans.
What the hell was that? That was like the craziest shit I've ever heard.
You're like the Jeffersons of the swamp.
Oh my god. You're just like insane, I swear.
Yes, and usually right now I would be introducing Deadly and Dariel, but unfortunately they're together. No, they're not having a tea party, but they are giving each other some Ajax colonics.
Ugh.
Goodbye.
What is going on with you?
So let's jump into our recap of episode 309, which was titled, and this is something Dariel... No... Let me not say that she's not here. This is something Cat's Meow loves, and it's Head. And it aired on December 11th, 2013. We're going to start off, as we usually do, by reading the official press release for the episode. Cordelia's attacker is revealed. Fiona looks to form an alliance with Marie Laveau. Nan learns a disturbing truth about Luke's past. So without jumping too far deep into what happened in this episode, what did everyone think? What was their initial reaction? We'll start off with Marshall.
I mean, this show was good. I'm not going to say it was not good. It was a good episode. Any episode that can make you feel a certain way is good. And I have to say that this episode frustrated the living hell out of me. Which is great because then you're getting some type of emotion and you're connected to the characters and you're feeling something. So overall, I mean, it was a good show, really. Overall, did I like what was happening? I would have to say hell to the nah, but it was a good show.
What about you, Miss Kitty?
I wasn't impressed at all. I was not impressed.
That don't impress you much?
No, it does not. Not at all. Even in leopard print in the middle of the fucking desert, it don't impress me much. Because I was not having it.
Bitch! That was some business.
She's getting all Shania Twain on her asses.
F that. Like, I don't know. As an overall, I definitely feel they're trying to, like, hurry up and tie any loose ends since the season is coming to a close pretty soon. So... I don't know. I just wasn't really impressed, and they need to step their game up, or I won't be watching next season. You hear that, Ryan Murphy? I won't be watching it because you're fucking foolish.
Oh, this is okay. This is all right.
Dramatic exit.
I know, right? All you need now, girl, is a door slam. Like, girl, did she give us Erica Kane? Really?
Like, what? I mean, the episode was just really strange. Like, I felt like I was in the middle I don't know. There was another season, and there was another episode this season I wasn't really happy with because I just felt like there was just so much going on that it's really hard to like really pay attention and see the big picture because you got all these like you have all these people who have their own personal stories going on, and then they're intertwining with these other stories that are going on, and then you have this main story, and it's just like it's just too much for me right now. I feel like maybe he bit off a little bit more than he could chew.
I liked it. I guess I'm one of the few on this show that, or the only one
The
on the
only
show that
one.
liked it.
No,
I really enjoyed it. I loved all of the different storylines colliding and advancing the story and maybe wrapping up some stories and the twist at the end. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to chatting with it, especially with Cat's Meow, because she seems to have disliked it. So let's jump into the recap, and we'll start off back in the good old year of 1991. A
I
young...
was gonna say my birth year, but it wasn't.
Nobody asked you.
Bitch!
A young Hank Fox is in Chattahoochee. You been there before? No. In Chattahoochee National Forest, right, Cat's Meow? With his father.
Oh, was that a joke?
Sort of.
Eat my shit.
You want me to repeat the intro from last week? He's at the Chattahoochee National Forest with his father, who is teaching him about hunting. With rifle in hand, Hank waits for his father to flush out their prey. Hank aims his rifle as a scared woman arrives in front of him. Apparently, this is a long-standing tradition with their family. They are witch hunters. A young Hank hesitates shooting her, and she flings a fireball towards him. His father pushes him out of the way, causing his father's arm to get scorched, and the father shoots the witch in the head. Hank apologizes, and his father tells him to show no mercy, to never forget what they are. So that certainly set up the episode and gave us a little bit more information on Hank, and apparently, it's not just him. There's this bigger, long-standing tradition of witch hunters. So back in the present day, Fiona carries Delphine's head in a box into Cornrow City and asks Marie about an alliance. When Marie shows no concern about the witch hunters, Fiona suggests they will eradicate the voodoo tribe after the witches are dead. Marie stands her ground and orders Queenie, who now works at the beauty parlor, to dispose of Delphine's head. Back at the academy, in the kitchen, Myrtle is watching as Cordelia drops some eggs in an attempt to make breakfast. She asks Cordelia if she believes that Myrtle is the person behind her blinding, and Myrtle recounts the day when young Cordelia first arrived at the academy, when Cordelia asked if Myrtle was now her mother. Cordelia tells Myrtle that she doesn't need to use her gift of second sight to see that Myrtle did not harm her. Hank arrives at Delphi Trust in Atlanta, Georgia. He's greeted by David, who takes him to see Hank's father. The three men discuss the orders that Hank had been given as a witch hunter. Hank has been sloppy, requiring his father to clean up the murder of Kaylee back in the hotel room, the one that he was hunching. Hank is shocked to learn that Delphi was behind the attack on Cordelia, and that was to remind Hank of his mission, as well as to bring Cordelia closer to Hank, because Cordelia would need him. Unfortunately, they didn't expect her to get the second sight and to learn a whole bunch more about Hank than he really would have wanted her to learn. Back at the academy, Myrtle prepares for a meeting with the council. Quentin and Pembroke expressed their regret over the quote-unquote misunderstanding that led to Myrtle's death, but marvel at her healed scars and ask about Misty Day's mud. Myrtle corrects them, saying Misty is an extraordinary witch who has also been killed by those around her, a similar situation to Myrtle's. Pembroke raises her glass to toast Myrtle and becomes paralyzed, as does Quentin. Myrtle tells her guests that she gave them melon balls laced with monkshood, which made them into human statues, and reveals that that she hadn't invited them over to chastise them, but to help out the coven. So she subsequently uses the melon baller to scoop out Cecily's left eye and then Quentin's right eye, and later Cordelia wakes in her bed to actually see Myrtle through Quentin's blue eye and Cecily's or Pembroke's brown eye. So I'll stop here, and I want to ask everyone, what do they think of this? The history of the witch hunters, Fiona's attempt at a truce and alliance with Marie Laveau, and Myrtle going psychotic on the council. We'll start off with Miss Kitty.
It was interesting. I think this is, I guess, I didn't really like the Hank thing because I wasn't paying attention, and I thought that, like, it was just a random kid and his dad. Like, I was really confused, and I thought something was, like, going to attack them. But I really don't give a fuck about Hank, so his scenes were relevant. I didn't care. Like, as Shaka Khan would say, my colon is clean, I don't give a shit. Cordelia...
When did she say that?
Well, she's fierce. She's got big hair, and it's full of secrets. So I'm pretty sure once upon a time she said, my colon is clean, I don't give a shit, honey. Because I don't give a shit. Hank is irrelevant. Hank, I was happy to see him go. Because he's exhausting. He's not interesting. Cordelia and her making eggs episode. Sit down. You bore me. Pembroke and whoever. Leslie Beverly.
Beverly Leslie.
A mess.
But, like, I don't know, the whole scooping their eyes. So I don't really call her being crazy. Like, I feel like that's the utmost, like, you're willing to put your life on the line to give someone who you viewed as a daughter sight. Like, I didn't really view that as crazy. I felt like it was revenge and helping Cordelia out. Just because, like, they never really gave Myrtle a chance. Like, they kind of just, like, let's burn her. And so I can see why, Myrtle and her Yaki weave, they're upset. Like, I understand that. But it's just, like, I don't know. I think, honestly, that was the only scene that I liked was Myrtle and Cordelia getting her eyes back. For some reason, I did get a little tear in my eye when she's like, I can see. But, I don't know. Like, I'm still trying to understand a lot of parts of the episode. So as far as these scenes, I don't really care for Hank. I don't like Hank. But yeah, no.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna say I have always been curious about Hank, and that it did make things a little bit more clearer about because he's always been. I never understood him, and I felt like after seeing that, I did begin to kind of understand him, that he was raised to be kind of hateful to these people. And it just, a lot of questions were answered. Like, I was like, well, how did he marry Cordelia? And, some questions didn't start getting answered for me. So I appreciated that. I did appreciate the fact that the council got what they deserved. And both of them deserve that. And I agree 100% with Kat in the fact that they never gave her a chance. They took Queen Bitch's side and never really let her justice was not served. So and I love the fact that her thing was, I'm not here to punish you, but since you're all about being in charge, now you can really help the coven. So give me your eyes, bitches. And so I was like, okay, I could get that. That to me was justice. So I was not freaked out about that. I do think that
it was really graphic.
It was graphic.
Nice.
But I will say that the Cordelia scene with her was really great, because then you begin to understand the bond between the two of them. Because I thought it was very interesting that they had a bond with that, and that was really great. I mean, it was good. Did we already talk about the conversation between Hank and his father? We haven't gotten there yet, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so I could say we finally figured out who threw the acid in Cordelia's face. And
I
that
know I wasn't expecting that though. Like, I don't know.
that was
I was
something I didn't
expecting.
expect. Right. I didn't expect
Yeah, it
that either.
doesn't. To me, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. I can understand why it does though, because like they're not paying him to play house. They're paying him to clean up. And Hank's like he's fallen in love with Cordelia, so it's hard for him. It's
It's
easy
like
for him.
Romeo and Juliet.
Mhm.
Boo, I'm gonna need you to have a seat on that
You
one.
remember that song?
On that throwback classic.
Hot sex.
But like, did we also talk about that Cordelia lost her second sight?
Yes.
Well,
I
actually, what
am
I was gonna mention
so
then.
mad.
This is one of the
Okay.
things that make okay.
Can I talk about
Well, if
that?
you,
Yes, we
well,
need to talk about it.
I'll quickly say it.
Okay.
Fiona studies Cordelia's new eyes and inquires about its donors, and Myrtle says that they wished that they would remain anonymous, and then we see a flashback that shows her dismembering the bodies in the greenhouse and disposing of their limbs in a barrel of acid. And so Fiona and Myrtle sort of have a fight, and Cordelia reminds them that the danger to the Coven is not internal, it's external, that there are witch hunters out there. So Myrtle hugs Cordelia as she leaves, and Cordelia realizes that she has lost her second sight power. So go.
That's stupid. I'm
It's
so
the
mad that
dumbest
she lost
decision.
hers. Like,
Yeah, that doesn't
why
make
did you
absolute
take that
no.
away from her? Like,
I-
that's one of the
That's what
powers
made
that
her
made her
interesting.
interesting.
Oh my God, I'm so over it.
Like, what the hell?
They
That
look
was.
like twins.
She didn't become interesting until she lost her eyes. And can we please
Exactly.
get into that fake ass contact lens? Because I wasn't feeling it. You could have gotten something a little bit more realistic. But
Yeah,
you
they
sitting
were
here with
weird, weren't they?
the Halloween contact lens. I can't fuck with you today because y'all didn't even try. Ryan Murphy, you didn't even try.
But
Her
I don't
second,
even I don't even care about I don't care about. What I do care about is the fact that you took her from being somebody that we really then started cheering for, and people really started liking. I will say that she's kept her assertiveness. Her assertiveness has come is it didn't diminish. Now that's the one thing I could give you, that her assertiveness, how she dealt with Hank, that was classic, honey. That was fierce. I said, okay, she went from being lily white girl to blind bat to sister in white skin, honey, because she said your shit is packed up. Okay, go get your shit and get up out of here. I
you
said,
better
all
call
right, girl.
Tyrone.
I know, bitch. She said, well, I don't care if you're not there yet. You too soon. We already there. The
But that's
reality,
like, I don't know.
the
Like,
eyesight, yeah, when you took away her gift, it was just like, why would you take away her gift? Like, that is
it
her
made her
gift. It
interesting.
made
It
her
made her
interesting.
snappy. It made her witty. Yes, the
Right.
bitch couldn't see, but she could see. Like, and it was, I'm not going to lie, it was funny to see her deal with everyday tasks being blind. I have no idea why, but it added more, just something to her. It was just
Right.
like, yes, I'm a witch, but I can't fucking see. So I'm going to be dropping shit everywhere. And
But
I
the
thought
thing,
that was funny. I thought it was cute, but it's like,
but she
I
could
don't
see the
know.
unseen, like she could see the ghost. Like she could know when presence was around that shouldn't be around.
She knew the damn skeletons in your closet, and now like
Closet.
she got
Right.
Mm-hmm.
she has like two she has two wonky eyes and no second sight.
I mean, it looks like her powers are still like
I
it
feel
looks like her
like
And a
she got
dried up
powers.
cooch.
they did that on purpose. I feel like they were like, well, I don't like. I just feel like that was their way of like, let's keep things
You're
secret.
not the supreme.
Something like I don't know. I'm upset that they took it away because that would have been cool at the end of the day, like just to see her like standing tall, like blind as hell. But she can like she can still do something. Now I just feel like she's useless. She's like that teacher in Harry Potter,
Huh?
the one that did the tea leaves. She was useless. And
Well,
that's how
actually, she wasn't. Get the story of Harry Potter right now, girl.
No,
No, she wasn't.
I felt she was useless. Yes, she did prophesize Harry
She was
Potter's
actually the greatest. No, she was
like,
actually the
but
greatest.
she was boring to me. Like she was boring to me. She
Who's
was
that?
boring
Maggie
to me.
Smith?
No, I
No,
can't
no,
remember
no,
her
no,
damn name.
no. It was Miss Girl.
Helena Bonham Carter?
No. She's another
Emma
big
Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
No, but what
Well,
was her character's name?
her,
Emma
yeah,
Thompson.
no.
I'm done with you.
Oh my God, no. She
Professor
was
Thompson.
Madam. God, I can't think of her name. But anyway, first, well, that the whole. I'm not going to go into Harry Potter because the reality is that the way they taped some of those characters completely go against the book. So that's a whole nother story. In
All
the
I
book,
know is I just felt like I feel like Cordelia, like I just feel like without her second sight, she's not interesting anymore. She's still powerful, but I felt like she was a little bit more powerful with the second sight. She wasn't so timid anymore. She was like, I see all. Like, yes,
yeah.
my eyes look like marbles, but bitch, I see all.
Well,
They
the thing
really
about
did look like marbles, didn't they?
I don't
well,
know.
the thing I will say, the thing that I will say is this: is that I think Hank's story finally got told. I do believe that his story was rushed. I believe that they did a rush job. And I felt like his story could have been spread out over the season, which probably would have made him a little bit more interesting.
But it's like they have like 4 episodes to go.
And then all of a sudden,
But you are right though. They could have spread it out because that's what I was afraid of. They put Hank's background, they put his childhood, his what his relationship was like with his father, like how he got into like the whole situation. Like it was just like it was something that could have been like Marshall said, spread out through chapters.
right,
We learned so much about Hank in like a limited amount of
Mm-hmm.
time that
It's the
I like
circle of life.
you get on my damn nerves. I hate you. I don't. It just felt really fucking. It just felt really rushed, and I don't know. I hope
yeah.
his is the only story that isn't rushed because we still have yet to learn about Marie Laveau.
Well, I think that's being saved up because they're bringing this new character in.
Papa Legba.
Yeah, he's coming in
Next episode.
Who?
oh yeah, the next episode that comes in January, he will be introduced.
Papa Legba. We announced it last
Oh,
week. Where the hell were you?
I don't know.
Me
I don't
neither.
Which is
remember last week.
which actually was he's actually playing the devil.
Oh, I remember you guys talking about that. I didn't remember the name, and I got really mad because I thought her being useful was on her own doing.
Yeah, I remember that. Moving back into the story, Zoe and Madison arrive at the hospital to find Nan sitting outside Luke's room crying. Luke's mother, Joan, will not let her in to see him. The three enter the room and Joan chastises them. Nan tells her that Luke says to calm down. She also mentions that there's a song called Just a Closer Walk with Thee that Joan used to sing to him when he broke his arm at 8 years old. At first, Joan sort of dismisses the clairvoyance, but she soon starts singing the song at Luke's bedside while holding both his and Nan's hand, and then they even share a hug. Aww. In her room at the salon, Queenie forces Delphine's head to watch Roots, as well as Roots, The Next Generation, as well as Mandingo, and of course, the Hood classic Baps, starring Ms. Halle Berry.
Oh, and
Yes.
and the color
Yes.
purple.
And the color purple, yes.
Babs was everything. I love Babs.
Hoping that Delphine will understand Queenie's heritage. After Queenie leaves, Delphine closes her eyes and starts singing as loud as she can.
No,
Hank,
we have to do it right. You have to do it right. You have to do it right. She said, "Oh no, no, oh God, I wish I was the land of cotton." I'm sorry, I just have to do that because it was hilarious. That scene was that was the funny scene of the night. So
that's her teacher.
yeah, that was. I'm sorry, but that was the funniest scene of the night. That was hilarious. Okay, go ahead.
You need to call her up and watch Baps together.
Oh God.
Hank eats takeout food in his home, and wounds suddenly appear on his body, and he convulses in odd angles on the floor. Marie has begun a voodoo doll sort of ritual on him. She's, poking the voodoo doll, and a man kicks his door in and tells him that he's feeling the wrath of his broken promises to Marie Laveau. Hank's cell phone rings. The guy answers it, holds it to Hank's ear, and it's Marie who tells him that the witches die that night, or the next needle will be will put a hole in his heart. Back at the academy, Cordelia and Misty prepare a potion of protection and banishment of evil. They use some on a dead flowering plant, and Misty asks to read the spell. Cordelia tells her to read it with stronger intent, and the plant regrows its green leaves and purple flowers and fruit. Hank arrives to see Cordelia has her sight again and begs her for forgiveness. She tells him that she has filed for divorce and that his belongings are in a closet upstairs. He grabs her and he's like, use your sight to see, see everything that you need to see, that I'm being honest. And she doesn't give three shits. After gathering his things upstairs, Hank is met by a growling dog and Fiona. She says they need more protection. He says that that's why he's there. And she sort of mocks him. She and the dog pass him by, and the dog scratches at a bedroom door. She opens it, and the dog runs to Kyle. Frank and Kyle. Fiona tells Frank and Kyle to leave and calls the dog, but unfortunately, Kyle accidentally snaps the dog's neck. Back at the hospital room, Nan tells Joan that Luke says that God is judging his mother for killing his father. Joan maintains that the man died of anaphylaxis, but we see in a flashback that Joan caused the anaphylaxis herself. She put bees into her husband's car, keeping him in the car via a phone conversation and control of the locks on the door via remote, preventing his escape. Apparently, he was ready to leave Joan, and he was getting blowjobs from someone in Joan's book club. Luke continues to speak through Nan, revealing the knowledge that the father was going to leave her, and that the affair predicated the murder. So Joan accuses Nan of being deceitful and treacherous and forces the young witch to leave. Zoe, Nan, and Madison return to the academy. They find Frank and Kyle and Fiona playing a game of cards. The girls discover that Fiona has spruced up Frank and Kyle not only to have a better card partner, but also to provide the Coven with a guard dog that will attack on command. So before I get to the last section of the wrapping up of the episode, what did everyone think of these developments? Queenie, Delphine, and Hank, Cordelia and Misty, the whole thing with Joan killing her husband and that whole situation at the hospital. We'll start off with Marshall.
I love the Queenie and Delphine's scene. There was a different type of bonding. The fact that she was supposed to be set on fire.
Mm-hmm. She kept her alive.
But she kept her alive.
And she was hungry.
Which I thought was very interesting. Because it definitely shows you that hunger is in the brain. It's not necessarily within the body.
Yeah. Did you guys notice how when Fiona first got there and they were having the discussion how Delphine's body was swatting the flies?
Mm-hmm.
That was funny.
So it's a very interesting dynamic. But I will say that that was a very powerful for me, that she was trying, even at the end, to get this woman to change, to get this woman to see people as people and humans as humans. And that was that's a very powerful thing, because I think that that's something that Black people have been doing for a long time. Consistently trying to get white and Caucasian people to understand humanity. That you don't have to always agree with people, but you should treat people equally. And unfortunately, I don't think that lesson has really been learned. But it was still great to see that. The scene with Cordelia and Misty was great, because you're seeing that Cordelia really is the teacher. She's doing what her mother was supposed to do. Her mother was supposed to be doing that. And even with all of that, in the fact that Misty says, there's so much I got to learn from you, she still honors her mother. Like, she's really a good witch. She knows her place in the Coven. And that earns me Cordelia's respect, because it's not about being the head as much as it's about knowing your place. and respecting your place and respecting other people's place. So you see that she has the skill of teaching, which is really great to see. That's the first time we've seen her teach. I don't know. Am I right? That's the first time we've seen her give a class or teach
Yeah.
anybody anything.
Yeah, like
And
I,
I just
yeah.
and it was just great to see that this is what she's supposed to be doing and what she does. When it comes to Hank, I mean, I just didn't. I don't feel sorry for him because you see that he's a player. He's playing both sides of the game, and then
He's
you
not a
follow.
player. He just crushes a lot.
Well, I don't know what the
Shut
problem is,
up.
but so I didn't feel sorry. I do have to say more and more and more you start really disliking Delphine.
Yeah.
I start to like feel, I don't know, I start to feel bad for her because it's just like it makes you wonder, like, can someone truly change?
Right,
I
right,
feel
right.
like she was,
But
but
it's like, but at like, I don't know, like even then, even
I think
after like Queenie brought her a hamburger after she still did something nice, and it's still like she's still calling people, negress and blah. I truly feel like some people just won't change. Sometimes it's just not meant for people. And I'm gonna be really pissed off if it takes I don't know. I don't know how to feel about Delphine's character. Like at first she was like comical and a big eye opener, but now it's getting to the point like it's really annoying. It's not entertaining anymore. It's starting to the point it's starting to really piss you off because it's like, are you truly trying to change or are you just milking it for all you possibly can?
Right.
mhm.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to agree with Marshall. No, on Hank and his mess. I'm over it. I don't know. But as far as Cordelia teaching Misty Day, that was cute. That was like a little, I don't know, like it felt like
It,
slightly a mom and daughter kind of deal, you
it
know.
almost
Aw.
yeah, it almost makes you go, she wouldn't be who she was actually if it wasn't for Myrtle. 'Cause it was a very Myrtle type interaction.
Oh yeah,
Or,
because
you
Yeah.
know,
if she learned anything from
she learned it from
Fiona,
yeah.
like God, like I don't know,
I don't think
but
she did because I don't think Fiona ever taught her anything.
I don't
I
think
think
Fiona was ever around.
that's what it looks like. And it looks like Myrtle really was her mother because what I saw in that scene was really Myrtle teaching Cordelia. That's literally
Yeah,
what she was doing. It was literally
I'm just
the same, even from the way she spoke. It was the very same type of kind of timber, um, tough, but not mean, pushing you, but not, you know what I mean? Trying to,
yeah.
you
I
know,
just feel I don't know. Why did
this
it
long.
take 9 episodes for to see this bitch teach something?
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Yeah.
like I'm confused. I feel like you didn't see any Zoe. You didn't see no Madison in this episode. Another thing I read, you saw her, but you didn't really get into their story. So that
Yeah,
was
this,
strange.
It was all
yeah.
about Nan.
Yeah, like bitches stick together. Like that's cute. You go, Fiona. Did we talk about the fact that the mom like boo 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 boo?
No, not yet, but
Okay, because
um,
I was about to get into
yeah.
that.
Before we get into that, I want to give my opinion because you guys haven't really talked about the hospital stuff.
It's just weird.
Yeah, it
Like
was
I don't know
weird.
how to feel about it. Like this woman, to me, she is pure evil. Like
Yeah, I mean,
she,
yeah.
All the
I
mothers
don't
are
like
horrible.
her. Like I don't like her.
Ryan
I
Murphy
don't.
has mommy issues because all
He
these mothers
does.
are horrible.
It's something. It was the interaction between Nan and his mom. Like it was really cute, but at the same time, like it was really uneasy because this woman, like she's over religious, just protective. Like she has weird punishments. I just I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. I
No,
didn't.
she's the definition of religious person gone mad. She's not a Christian. She's a religious person.
I
And that's
just
very different. That's
it was
very
just
different.
it was
Like
just
she
it
would
was just
kill
strange. Like
it,
I didn't like the hospital part. Like I like the little sassy interactions between Madison and fucking mommy dearest, but other than that, I mean, I could have done without the scene. Y'all could have taken Zoe and Madison out, and Nan could have just gone by herself.
Yeah.
Because I felt like they were just two bodies in a room.
Yeah.
Well, but I felt like they kind of gave the assertiveness because Nan is not really assertive like that. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like that's just not her nature. And so with the two
I
of
feel
them,
like Nan would have eventually, she would have gotten in. She would have found a way to get in. I just felt like Zoe and Madison, I'm so over both of their characters and their whole love triangle with Frank and Kyle, and he loves her, but he don't really love Madison. Can someone put a house on these two bitches
oh my
so they can
God.
get the fuck on? Because they're not interesting to me anymore. Y'all can you can put a house on those two bitches. Y'all can keep Nan. I'm mad at the fact they keep taking happiness away from Nan.
Yeah.
And that's really making me mad about this episode. It's like I don't know if it's just because like the ignorant side of me, like I feel for Nan because she appears to be mentally handicapped, but she is sharp as a fucking like
Hmm.
tack. It's ridiculous. But I feel like only people who meet the normal expectations of a person are allowed to be happy.
Yes.
This bitch can
Yes.
ride on somebody's dick and give them an aneurysm, but she can be happy. But Nan, who's clairvoyant, which we haven't even heard her backstory yet, she can't be happy. The one person, like, that she's like getting to know, they're like feeding off of each other. She's not competing with Madison or Zoe. Like, that's hers. It's happiness is always within her grasp, and it always gets taken away.
But it almost sounds like she's walking the same line as Cordelia, though.
Maybe.
You
I
know,
just
I
hope
mean,
like it doesn't take anything super tragic happening to Nan. I really hope that Nan come out in the end as the Supreme, or damn, even alive for that matter.
well, I'm going to say at this point, it looks, yeah, well, we'll talk about that as it's coming when we get into future. But yeah, the way the show is shaping up, I'm not really sure how many people are going to survive. I mean, I really am not. I mean, I'm not sure that this coven is going to survive.
I feel like the coven will do itself in before anything else happens. We're seeing so much of the witch's side and not enough about Marie Laveau's side. Like I said before,
Yeah,
it's very one sided, and it almost seems like the coven itself they can't stick together. Everyone else has their own turmoils and what they're trying to do and their own problems, and then they're intertwined within the group problems that
right.
the coven's going to do itself in.
But
Like
that may all change.
I was going to say
Marie
that may
Laveau
all.
don't
Yeah.
need no witch hunter. As far as I'm concerned, she don't need no witch hunter. She can just watch them tear themselves apart.
Well, but the thing is that well, we need to get on to the story because
Yeah,
I
let's
don't think,
continue.
yeah,
Let's
because
continue.
I don't think that she's as in power
Yeah.
as
Let me
yeah.
just say,
So.
I do want to say this before you move on. How the hell do you have Patti LuPone on as Joan and you're going to have her sing and you make her sing cry or cry sing, which does not sound good. Like, how are you going to waste?
Because it's not a musical.
I know that, but I mean, if you're going to have her sing, like,
Have her
have her
sing.
sing. You're not, don't have her, I'm
I'm
singing
not gonna
crying.
lie. Like, would you have wanted to see? Was it Leslie Beverly?
Beverly Leslie
I'm
singing.
sorry. Like, I mean, everyone likes him because
We've
he's
had
like an
Jessica
elf. He's a
Lange sing
short,
in every
sassy
season.
elf. Like, he's sassy, he's gay, he's short, like he's everything. That'd be like having him play a bland, straight character.
We've had Jessica Lange sing several times on the different seasons. So if you're gonna have Patti LuPone on and you're gonna make her sing, try to make her sing nicely. Don't make her sing all sing cry.
Well, but
That's
I
just my
think
two
that
cents.
I have to disagree with you guys. Patti LuPone, first of all, has always been known as an actress that had a beautiful voice, not as a singer that could act. She's always been an actress. The reason why she's a Tony Award winner is for none other than what? Sunset Boulevard, which is an actress. It's an acting show. What I'm saying is, what I see is Patti LuPone playing the character. And in that character may not necessarily know how to sing. So, I mean, just because somebody has a phenomenal voice doesn't mean that that character that she's playing has a phenomenal voice. And so she's doing what that moment requires. It's an emotional moment, and it's not necessarily supposed to be about how beautiful she could sing. I think it's supposed to be about the fact that she's trying to drag out through these emotions and this heartbreak that she supposedly is going through and trying to sing this song. She's struggling with, is this really true what this girl is saying or what it's not. So there's a lot of dynamics that's going on. And I've always thought of Patti LuPone as an actress first before of a singer. Just because I'm a big Broadway person and I know her legacy. She's always known as an actress with a great voice, not as a singer who can act. So that's just me.
Yeah, not
I can
Beyonce.
understand what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, but I stick by my opinion. If you're gonna have someone that can sing, regardless if they're a singer that's an actress or an actor or singer, if you're gonna have on someone that can sing and you're gonna make them sing, at least make them sing nicely. That's just
It would
my
have been
opinion.
nice. It would have been nice to just truly hear someone who has a voice. Like Jessica Lange, she can't carry a tune, but
She's no Patti LuPone though,
yeah,
so
like I
I don't
would
know.
have
I'm just saying
loved
it would
to
have been
hear
nice
her
to have her,
sing.
yeah, just
Seeing that
sing.
I don't really know too much about her besides her being in Evita, and that's the only reason I know that because like the only Evita I saw was with Madonna,
Oh
which
Lord.
is one of my favorite movies, by the way. Um,
Oh
I
Lord.
get I get
Today.
so tearful when she sings "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina." I love that song.
Okay, well, let's
But
jump back into the show.
Good
We're not
Lord.
in Argentina. We're in
Lord
Louisiana.
today.
I was trying to get a free DVD. I'm sorry.
Okay, jumping back in. When we last leave our young Covenites, we see Zoe with Frank and Kyle, and she had left him earlier with like I don't know, was it a leapfrog or something? And he finally put some sentences together, and one of those sentences was "I love you," and they kiss and get all romantical, and of course Madison is right on the other side of the door, looking all pissed. Next, when Queenie learns that Delphine
Wait,
has.
no. I think that was last
That
week's.
was last week.
Yeah,
That
that was
was last
last week.
week?
Yeah.
That was
Yes.
this
We
week?
never really talked about
No,
that.
Oh, we
we never
sort of fast
talked
forwarded
about
that.
it.
Well,
Because
I
I was
talked
like,
about
remember.
it. I
Yeah, because
talked
I
about it
was.
and I got really mad because I was like, for once, can there just be one happy moment? I was
Oh,
Right.
like,
yeah,
do we
that
have
is
to add
true.
another fucking like storyline into this like big ass mess right now?
Yeah, that is true. Why did I feel like it was in last night's episode? I don't know.
Cause you're a crackhead and that's
I
all.
am.
You're a drunk.
Okay, here we go. Over at Cornrow City, when Queenie learns that Delphine has kept her eyes shut for the duration of the videos, she plays videos of civil rights era news footage accompanied by spirituals since Delphine is incapable of covering her ears. Lalaurie is left alone again, but appears to be somewhat affected by the music and is driven to tears by the images of civil rights abuse. Downstairs, Queenie takes her place at the salon's front desk as Hank enters armed with multiple high-powered guns. He shoots and kills most of the people in the salon. He wounds Queenie in the stomach before making his way to Marie. Now, we must make note that the bullets that he had inside of these weapons are blessed silver bullets, and those are what they use to kill witches. So, Queenie tries to. Wait, no, sorry. Marie tries to make him believe that she has moved, but he shoots her arm. He then aims a shotgun at her, but Queenie finds a handgun that belonged to Marie's bodyguard and opens her mouth, puts the gun in, and shoots herself so that she can blow Hank's brains out, saving Marie. Later, Hank's father weeps over crime scene photos of the carnage and of his dead son. Back at the hospital, Luke wakes and accuses his mother of his father's murder. She tells him to go back to sleep and then smothers him with a pillow. Meanwhile, Marie Laveau arrives at the academy with her arm bandaged. She enters the academy and
She's
no wait,
also wearing something. You
she
forgot
is.
a
What's she
big.
wearing? A
She's
veil?
wearing
A hat?
no. She's actually wearing Queenie's jacket. She has
Oh,
Queenie's red jacket on her arm as she
Ooh.
walks in.
Oh no.
That's why I said Queenie had to have died because she's wearing Queenie's red jacket.
Is
well,
it going to be
see it,
one of those things where Queenie's going to come back in like visions or a ghost?
or Misty Day can bring her back. Or she's not dead.
With like the back of her head fucking missing, how are you gonna like be
Well, no,
a
she
functioning
project.
member
No.
of?
Her power is she projects. So even though she can shoot herself, it has no effect on her. It has effect on the person she wants it to have effect on. Like when
Then why did
she,
she like die then if it
but
doesn't
she,
have effect on
I
her?
don't know if she died. That's what we're saying. We don't know if she died. We just know she
I don't think
passed
she's
out.
dead.
I don't know, but I do know that she could have passed out because she had a bullet in her stomach, not because she shot herself. Because don't forget, when she cuts herself, it never cuts her. It cuts the other person.
No, she does. She does cut. Like she does get cut. It seals itself up. Like she doesn't bleed out, but it does have a slight like you can see her doing
Yeah,
the
but it
action.
doesn't harm
It
her.
doesn't harm
Of it.
her. That's
Yeah.
what we're saying. Is like it doesn't harm her.
Okay,
It's
okay, I got it. Okay,
yeah.
I
I
got
think
it.
that
You
no. I
better.
Thank
think
you.
that's
Thank
I.
you.
No, I think what we're saying is and also maybe we're just wishful thinking, but I think what we're saying is there's still hope. Hopefully that she is still alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's still
She
hope.
is. It's probably. I don't think she'll be coming back as a person because they haven't been killing. To me, they haven't been killing off enough people. And right now, like they were just offing people left and fucking right in this episode.
Well, they were offing all the black people. Is what I.
But like, the what is the two people that got their eyes one eye each gouged out. Like they're not black.
Billy Leslie Pembroke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also they're also not like yeah. I get what you're saying, but they also
But
weren't like
still,
the
like
main
the
character.
people in the people in the salon weren't main characters
Hank.
either. Like to me, Hank isn't a main character. Like he's irrelevant. He bores me.
But the reality is in the story he's a main character. It's not
Nah,
about it's not about your
nah.
opinion.
I don't think he's like the main character.
Luke died.
Like what the fuck was that about? Like there I go again. Like that's what I mean. Like Nan can't be happy. Like that's really making me
She'll
mad.
have ghost sex.
Well, I think that
Duh.
but I think that has to do with empowering Nan because he is going to be a ghost. It's very clear. He was already a ghost in his coma. So, and I think Nan is going to be her undoing. So I think that's that storyline. I think that's where that storyline is going. I don't even see where else it could go. They've already introduced him as a spirit.
Mm-hmm. Shove her house
So,
with bees.
so she already has a connection with him as a spirit. I think that she's going to be that heifer's undoing. I think she's going to be that heifer's undoing. So I mean, that's what I'm
Sing
looking
for me
at.
now, bitch.
I think that that right now I am very frustrated about the fact that Queenie was in this situation. I have to admit that I did not like the way that Marie Laveau treated her, the way she talked
Well, I think
to
she
her.
still sees
Honestly,
her as
like,
a bitch.
how did you think? Yeah, else do you think she was going to treat her? I don't honestly. I never saw Marie Laveau treating Queenie as one of her equals because at the end of the day, Queenie is still a witch. She was still
Witch.
associated with those witches. I didn't expect her to be treating Queenie like, like they go back, way the fuck back. Because
Right.
it's still one of those things. Like at the end of the day, you're still a witch. I don't give a fuck if your ancestors are from Tutuba or whoever the fuck. You're still a witch at the end of the day. Yes, it sucked how she treated Queenie and how she pretty much she took Queenie's naivety and decided to use that. Like this episode, like I said, it was definitely a big fail for me. A lot of things didn't make any sense. A lot of things were rushed. And someone who didn't really have a backstory necessarily and got made all these false promises, may not be so much of a main character anymore.
She's not dead.
Like I said she might be. Like she might not be. Like, damn, y'all on my back.
Well, we just don't want to give up, honey, because it's just not that many black folks on the show.
I don't think
To me,
she's
I'm
dead.
giving up. I'm giving up because there's 4 episodes left. Like I personally feel like
Fine.
this season was so hyped up. It was so hyped up to the point like I feel like it like Ryan Murphy, you really let your fans down.
I don't think that.
I definitely feel like it was so hyped. It was everybody was practically like gagging the fact that Kathy Bates and Angela Bassett were going to be in it. I practically shit my pants when I found out Angela Bassett was going to be in it. Only to find out she's not named as a main character. She's also starring, and the fact that she doesn't really have too much of a backstory.
Special guest star.
Like special guest star,
That's,
like bitch.
yeah, different
She's
than
been in almost
also
every
starring.
damn episode, and she's a special guest star. boo-bye. Like,
Heather
that
Well,
doesn't
I
Locklear
make
mean,
was a
sense to
special
me.
guest star for the
I do.
most of her run on Melrose Place.
I have to say
That's
that.
before my time.
Yeah, I'm not talking about no damn Melrose Place. Who gives a damn? But I will
No, but
say that
the
in terms
distinction
of
of special guest star.
in this, but what I think I agree with you 100% in the fact that Angela and Gabby have been in every episode,
And
and
you mean
they
tell me you couldn't put them on the main credits?
and then
Like,
yeah,
why
and
is
so
it that the two African American characters in this show, and it's based in New Orleans, they barely have any backstory? That's fucking weird to me. But I've gotten to know so much about Madison Montgomery. I feel like I can write a Wikipedia page on this bitch. Like, I feel like I could really
She probably has one.
I could ghostwrite her fucking autobiography.
No, I know. I agree with you. I have to say but I think I was the one that brought that up when I came on the show big time, that I had a big problem with that. And particularly since you're saying now that next season you're hoping to bring Angela Bassett back, and you're hoping to bring Gabby back now. We're hearing that Gabby may be back next season as well now. So it's like you're planning on bringing them back, but are they going to be special guest stars again?
They better have one hell of a storyline. Like, they better have one hell of a storyline. They better be able. If I feel like in the beginning of the episodes, you should already know people's storyline. When it starts to get to the end of the season, you really shouldn't be learning too much about their past unless it really has something to do with what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Well,
I feel
yeah,
like I just
yeah.
feel like there wasn't. I don't know. I'm still harping on the fact that I'm still trying to get to know where Nan came from. I'm still trying to get to know a little bit more about
From his mother
Cordelia.
vagina.
Like what is that about? What is outside the house? Can I please see otherwise besides Cornrow fucking City, the fucking academy, and next door? Can I see a little bit more of the city? Can I see some bitches walking
You
around?
saw a
Can I see some bitches
nightclub.
interacting with somebody? Like, goddamn, can I see a little bit more? Like, everybody was shitting bricks when they found out it was going to be about witches in New Orleans and fucking voodoo and everything else, and it has like real life characters in it. But you failed. Like, I'm sorry, boo boo, but you failed the test because you forgot to do your history. You forgot to do your history. Everything is fucked up. The Axeman is white. I'm so fucking confused. I don't know what's going on. This was definitely a fail for me.
Good lord, you sound like Marshall 3 weeks ago.
No, I love it because I feel like, okay, I'm not the only person that feels this way. But I mean, this episode was just frustrating, I think. It was just frustrating. I mean, the twists and the turns, okay. But it was just some of the decisions were just like, what? Like, why? Like, I don't get that. Like, him coming in and killing all the voodoo people. I'm like, huh? I'm confused.
Like, what the hell's going on? Like, did you really think you was just going rat tat tat all up in Cornwall City?
Well, he almost did without Queenie.
Like, did you really think you were gonna get away from it? Like, dude, like, do what you were supposed to do. You weren't there to play house. You were there to clean up. Do what the fuck you're supposed to do. Like, take your heart off your sleeve. And I feel like
That's what he was doing. In
oh
my
my
opinion,
God,
he did
Hank, what do
that
we do
to
with
prove
Hank?
something
Let's
to
kill
his
him.
father.
I think he did that to prove something to Cordelia.
I think he did that to prove something to his father and Cordelia all in the same.
It just didn't, I don't know, like, I felt like I should have been shocked and I should have been like, but I wasn't. I was like, oh, yay, they killed off Queenie.
We don't know that.
Okay, they appeared. I'm sorry. They appeared. They made it appear that Queenie may not be part of the show anymore. And then all the way at the end,
We'll
like,
get into the spoiler
I'm
section
just
and I'll
so
make you
fucking
eat some of your words.
fuck that.
I'm laughing because it's so funny. You're like,
Because this is the truth. We don't know if she's dead.
we
On
don't
this
know
show,
she's
you
dead.
can't. I mean, I can say Luke is 100% dead. Hank is 100% dead. But we can't be sure with Queenie.
No, not with fucking Misty swamp ass Dave
Misty's
standing
not going to bring
around.
back any of the other people. She's not going to bring back Hank. And she's not
Like,
going to bring
damn,
back
like,
Luke.
you should have left that bitch dead. You should have left the mom dead. You should have left a shit ton of people dead. But your hands can't leave. You
Well, that
can't
was
leave
because
alone.
Fiona wanted to see her powers. That's why she brought the mom back.
Fiona could have kicked rocks with that damn Afghan or whatever the fuck she had on
I
her
know
head.
everybody loves Jessica Lange, but I have to be honest. I mean, to me, she's not my favorite character this year. Just like I have no sensitivity. I don't really care for her.
She's never is really the favorite character. It's just great to see her act.
Yeah,
was
I mean,
in
I don't
season
think there's
1.
anyone who truly is just like, I really stand by, her character's morals and
Yeah, there
every.
is. He's just not on the show tonight.
Well, I think Deadly likes he likes her characters because they are fabulous. They are
They're
quick-witted.
interesting.
They are very interesting.
We're not
But
saying
them
they're
as a whole, no. But just seeing her come up with her little snapbacks, her like, bitch, don't make me like, put a house on you. Like little shit like that, that's what makes us live for Jessica Lange. So it's not necessarily the fact that we enjoy the character that who like, I guess their
She was
morals
a
and what they
horrible,
do.
racist, bigoted, horrendous person in season 1. Last
Exactly. But she
season,
was sassy. She was
yeah,
sassy.
and last season she, as far as a character, was much more softer as Sister Jude. She started off very hard, and then all that happened to her basically transformed her character into a much more appealing character that we actually rooted for at the end. So, I mean, she's had sort of different characters. This character is definitely, I would say, a little bit more on the Constance side that, you kind of like love to hate her. But just moving
I
before we
hate
get
her.
into that. Oh God, before we get into the spoiler section, I do want to say, and this is not defending the casting or anything, because I 100% agree that Gabby and especially Angela should be listed in the title, in the theme, the main credits. But I think that has more so to do with contracts and
Oh,
negotiations than anything else. That's my opinion. Because Nan, who has been in every episode as well, she's listed under also starring, which is the recurring cast. Hank, who has been in almost all of the episodes, he's recurring as well. Special guest stars have been Angela Bassett, Gabri Sidibe, the Axeman, Patty LuPone, Stevie Nicks when she comes, Lance Reddick, who's going to play Papa
Can we
Legba.
talk about what the fuck happened to the Axeman?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
thank you.
what the fuck just happened? Like, did he just like? I'm confused. Is he like playing in clubs? Like, is he
Yeah,
living his life?
make money.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, is he still going out there killing people? Is he a ghost? Is he human?
Like,
Like,
does
what the
he?
hell
He's
is he?
like, he's like,
Killed
I
it.
put my axe away,
I
and
don't
now
think
it's
he's.
time for me to like. He's like, I'm the new Kenny G. Like, what, like, what the fuck? Like, what happened to that dude? What happened to him?
He's exhausted from all the sex.
I wonder
It's
what
just
Gus
strange.
Kagan's
And then
like.
also, did you notice there was absolutely this was the winter finale, right? And there was absolutely no scene with Spaulding.
Spalding, he's doing his own thing. He's too
Hmm.
busy like spying on Madison Montgomery while she unchanges, like
He's
while she
hunching
gets
his
undressed.
dolls. Hunching the dolls.
You guys are just disgusting.
Anywho, listeners, it's time to get a little spoilery. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers about the upcoming episodes of American Horror Story Coven, I suggest you turn your volume down low because this is officially a spoiler alert. Certainly check out our Facebook Live page, facebook.com/PCR. Are You Afraid? Those are the letters P, C, and R, and the words Are You Afraid? So you can check out sneak peeks and links and photos of upcoming episodes.
Spoiler alert.
So we'll start off with when the show returns. The show is on hiatus. This was the winter finale, and it returns on January 8th, 2014, with a brand new episode, and it's titled The Magical Delights of Stevie Nicks. We also have some information from Ryan Murphy. Ryan Murphy, as we always say, he gives an interview to Entertainment Weekly's Inside TV that is posted a couple of hours after the episode airs, and it talks about the episode, and he also gives away spoilers. So here's some of the most maybe interesting information that Entertainment Weekly got out of him. They ask about the witch hunter storyline. Does it take up a big part? It takes up a big part of this episode, and are we all gonna learn a little bit more about them in that world? Ryan Murphy says yes. Obviously, now that the corporation's plant is dead, we get much more into that when we come back from the winter break. And then the big question, is Queenie dead? Ryan Murphy says everyone wants to know that, and I'm not saying, but we do talk about what happens to her body in episode 10, so keep watching. And then they go on to ask about So will the final 4 episodes be about the Voodoos and the Salems teaming up? And Ryan Murphy goes on to say, yes, that's one of the things. Maria and Fiona must join forces to beat this enemy. They have different ways and approaches about what they think they should do. Selfishly, I just wanted to have a lot of scenes with Angela and Jessica together because they're so great together. So I was like, we got to get Marie Laveau to move in that house. And so they ask, so does she move in? And he says, yes, she's there for good. Then they also talk about Queenie's work rehabilitating LaLaurie. Does it work? Does LaLaurie change? And he answers by saying, well, the question is, can somebody like that change? She's always maintained, I am a woman of my time, but I think that people can. I always point to my grandmother, who was sort of un-PC with her views, but who at the end of her life really did come around and A, have new points of view, and B, be very sorry and ashamed for what she did. So can LaLaurie do that? Is one of the things we're interested in writing about. In episode 10, they ask, will she regain her body? And that he says that they do resolve what happens to the head and the body, and that it's an interesting surprise. And they asked the head is the mid-season finale. What can you say about the final 4 episodes? Well, we have a lot of special stuff. The next one is called The Magical Charms of Stevie Nicks, starring Stevie Nicks. Last 4 are, can Marie and Fiona beat these witch hunters that have been after their groups for centuries? Who's going to be the next Supreme? Who's Kyle going to choose in terms of the witches? What's going to happen to LaLaurie? And what's going to happen to the friendship between Queenie and LaLaurie? So those are the driving forces. And he also mentions that they're just now writing the season finale. So all of that seems interesting. I guess we'll see what's to come.
Well, if they're saying that the storylines between the friendship between Queenie and LaLaurie, then he just gave away that Queenie's still alive.
I noticed that as well. So let's talk about Gabrielle Sidibe, because she's been doing the interview circuits as well. And she was also interviewed by Entertainment Weekly's Inside TV. And they ask, of course, the big money question. I don't know what you can say, but is Queenie dead? Gabby says, is Queenie dead? Well, that's what I thought for a while. I thought that she was dead. She's definitely sustained a lot of injuries, to say the least. She should be dead. I never really even gotten the answer. I'm still currently working. And so they go, okay, so there's a good chance that we see you again on Coven. And she says, there's a pretty good chance. Yeah, I mean, I just got a new schedule. So, I mean, I definitely get shot up, but it almost doesn't mean anything. The way we play the death, Dennis O'Hare died a few episodes ago. He's still around. And so then they ask her, do you know anything about what happens in the finale? She says she doesn't know, that no one knows. And she says she wouldn't even trust herself with that kind of information. And then they ask her, and this was probably the best answer. They go, you and Kathy Bates need a sitcom or something. And so she goes, well, we were talking about doing a sitcom called Gabby and the Head, where she and I get an apartment together in Seattle, and she becomes an online English teacher, no history teacher. We talk about it all the time. We have a theme song and everything. Gabby just sounds so much fun.
That sounds funny. I'm sorry, that's hilarious.
Gabby is hilarious. Okay, so some other tidbits. There was filming of a funeral scene for Coven in New Orleans. The cast were photographed filming for a funeral scene in New Orleans for the current season of American Horror Story. The majority of the cast seemed to be there, apart from Delphine, but that's probably self-explanatory. Misty, Nan, and Queenie were there, and there's no clue who the funeral was for. And Laveau was there as well. So, yeah, there were shots taken.
Fiona.
Well, there were photographs taken on December 4th for a funeral scene. And then the other bit of information that has come out is award nominations. The nominees for the 71st Annual Golden Globes were announced, and Coven was nominated for at least 2. It was nominated for TV movie or miniseries, American Horror Story Coven, as well as TV movie or miniseries actress for Jessica Lange, American Horror Story Coven.
Really? I was expecting Kathy Bates.
Well, you have to understand the Golden Globes are horrible awards because they all supporting actors and stuff. It's TV, it's miniseries, it's movies, it's just ridiculous what they do with the supporting category, so it's really
But
difficult.
it's not only that, but it's also the foreign press. And so, and the foreign press can be very biased.
Yeah, and it's also a shitty.
See, like in
thing.
America, you're not allowed to take the producers out to eat. You're not allowed to do certain things. And with the foreign press, you can schmooze them, take them on private planes. You can do all of that shit, and that helps you win the awards.
What?
But also, they have a shitty category system as well. They sort of lump in all of anybody that's supporting. They throw them all in a category, as opposed to the Emmys, which has supporting actor in a comedy, supporting actor in a drama, supporting actor in a TV. In a miniseries or TV movie, so it's kind of a bit of a mess.
So, I mean, my thing is, I look at the Golden Globes. I always focus on the Emmys.
Yeah, you just watch the Golden Globe for the comedy.
Right, and I watch the SAG Awards. Because the SAG Awards, the Screen Actors Guild Awards, are actually other actors nominating. So your peers do the nomination, and those seem to be a little bit more, really, when you think about it, they're actually more accurate. Because if you could get the people that you're competing against to actually nominate you and then vote for you to win, then you did something. For example, if you look at the Oscars, Meryl Streep won another Oscar. So, okay, girl, we know you can act, but even what she won for was not a great role, and she beat Viola Davis, who, by the way, won the SAG, won the Golden Globe. Won the British Award. You know what I mean? So it was just like all of a sudden you got to the Oscars and it became who's the most popular person instead of who is. Are you getting what I'm saying? Like Viola Davis.
No, yeah.
Viola Davis won from her peers. Her peers said, "Bitch, you beat Meryl."
Yeah, it was like when I won Most Likely to Succeed in high school.
It's like when I got robbed class clown in high school.
You didn't win?
I know. Like, I got beat by some bitch I didn't even know existed. It was completely biased. Completely biased.
I won. Completely. I have no idea what happened to the girl that won with me. I don't know if she succeeded.
Maybe you should check up on her. Maybe she's like, she calls herself a chef, but the bitch is slapping patties down at Burger King. Who knows?
Oh my God. You guys are so bitter.
But other than that... What did everyone think of the spoilers? Anything that you guys are looking forward to?
Well, we know Gabby's not dead.
Yeah, now I can stop getting so mad about it. But I'm still salty about it. But I'm excited.
Yeah, because it's either Fiona or Cordelia. If all of them are coming together, it's either Fiona or Cordelia.
If Cordelia dies, it's going to be bittersweet for me because I was definitely enjoying her and her shade when she was blind. But now that she can see again, I hope she just doesn't turn back to what she was.
Yeah,
I hope that she gets more active. I hope that she definitely I can see now.
Or the surprise shade is it could be Myrtle.
Oh, do you I don't know, but she killed off the. I'm excited.
But the thing about Myrtle,
poor Big Red.
But the thing about Myrtle is if she dies, it'll be to save the Coven. Legitimately save the Coven. You know that about Myrtle. It'll be, the Coven is in true danger and she puts herself at risk to save everybody. That's just her thinking. Versus if it's Fiona, it'll be probably she realizes that finally it's really her time to go.
I don't...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's going to release it and just be like, whoever the next Supreme is, she's not going to try to kill her. She's not going to... So that way she saves face in the very end.
Does anyone ever feel like Fiona wasn't actually the Supreme?
No, I think Fiona was the Supreme.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she just became the Supreme too early. And she was also very...
selfish.
Yes.
I keep feeling that there's going to be it's going to be one of those things haha, like Myrtle was actually the Supreme.
No,
Like,
I don't think she would have ascended to Supremehood, even if she killed that bitch.
Right. Supreme Hood, remember, you have to be able, there is a test.
oh yeah, the
There's
7
a
She had
one.
passed
test.
them all.
I just like I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't know.
We're
Something
supposedly
just
going to
doesn't
see the
feel
seven
right.
tests. We're
Oh,
going to see them.
this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be some Harry Potter shit.
Yeah,
Like at
but
the Goblet of Fire,
Ooh,
girl.
maybe
but
they'll bring Emma Thompson.
God. Well, you know who I think,
Nanny
I
McPhee.
yeah, but you know what? I really do think that the shock may end up being that it's gonna be Nan. Like, it may not be, all arrows point
Oh,
away from it,
can you
but
imagine the
Can you imagine Nan
gag?
with that fur on?
Girl, can
She's
you
like, I
imagine
am
the
supreme,
gag?
bitches. Bow
Can you
down.
imagine the like
because
the
because we
look?
still haven't figured out how is it that Madison was able to have the power that she has and then also have the power to set fire. That's not normally what happens. You have one major power. And then of course you can do all of the other witchcraft skill stuff, making potions and things like that. But you only have one genetic power. And there were two powers that were displayed in that house.
Does Madison still have her powers?
That's something also that I'm trying to figure out. I
Because
believe
like I haven't seen her do anything.
I don't know. But
Like
I will.
besides say
She knows how to
surprise
fuck.
bitch.
But I still say,
Thought you saw the
and you
last
know what?
one?
I've kind of been good at doing these predictions. I've been knocking them out the parks on a
Oh,
few shows here.
Lord. Pat
So
yourself on the back.
so I'm gonna
Clairvoyant.
say my prediction is that the big surprise is that they're gonna think it's Misty Day and she's not gonna pass, and then the girl that everybody thinks is going to be is gonna step up. She's not gonna pass, and then the very person that everybody's been looking down on is gonna step forward, and
Or
Fiona is gonna say something like "You little bitch," and she's gonna be the one that passes as the supreme and turns around, looks at all them bitches and say, "There's going to be some changes going on, and don't try to block your mind because I can read everything you're thinking."
or there may not be a supreme. Like
Because
Can you
there
this may
imagine
be,
if it's Marie Laveau?
girl, the gag. I don't think that would happen, but if it did, like I would definitely it would be a turned up Thursday for me.
well, I definitely it'll take it to another level in the fact that the supreme was. No, I don't think that
That
it'll
they're
be
supposed to be united.
that they
Yeah,
were
but it's like
supposed to be united.
I don't think there's going to be a supreme. I really don't. I think it's going to be one of those things where
I think
the
I know
witches
who
are
it is.
being killed off. Like maybe it was one of those things like they never got a chance to find out who the supreme could be because of the witch hunters.
I think I know who it's going to be.
It's going to
Who
be
is
my
your
girl
prediction? You
Nan.
have to say because everybody
Diana
else.
Nan,
Ross.
Oh
girl, bye.
God.
She
It's
is
gonna
the
be
Supreme.
it's going to be Tiffany Pollard.
What?
New York?
Yes, she's the next supreme.
I think it's Big Red. That big red freshness lasts right through it.
Okay, can we end this call now? 'Cause I'm
Isn't that what
just
Deadly called her last week? Big Red.
He called her Big Red.
who? I don't remember that. Who did he call Big Red?
Myrtle,
Myrtle.
because
Oh yeah,
Myrtle
he
she
did
got
call her Big Red.
Oh no, he
that
called her
yappy
Auntie
story.
Redwig.
I'm done. She did. He did. He called her Auntie Redwig. I
And
miss
on
you,
that
Deadly.
note, we miss you, Deadly. Even you too, Dario. Why not? She's probably under an overpass right now carrying a big, stiff piece of wood.
I thought that was me. How you gonna give me that and then give it to her?
She gets your sloppy seconds.
Hmm.
I'm
It's
moving away.
extra sloppy.
Can we please end the show?
And on that note, this is the final episode of the year for Are You Afraid? Coven. You can expect we will be back on Wednesday, January 15th, 2014 at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for a brand new installment of Are You Afraid? Coven. Please like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCR Are You Afraid? That's the letters PCR and the words Are You Afraid? Also like Papi Chulo Radio on Facebook by going to facebook.com/Papi Chulo Radio. You can email us with any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns at contact@Papi Radio. Co-host, can you please wish the listeners a good night and a happy holidays?
Good night and happy holiday. No, I'm kidding. Let me stop.
Oh my God, where the hell did Jennifer Holly come from?
I was
Good
about to
night.
get it. I'm like, good night.
Listeners, if you would like to hear Cat's Meow sing, you can tune into our holiday special.
Bitch, don't even try it because you know I'm not singing.
I'm done.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us in January 2014 for a brand new installment of Are You Afraid, Coven? Good night and happy holidays. Welcome to Are You Afraid, Coven, the unofficial Once Upon a Time. Sorry. That's never happened to me before. They're all mixing into one show.
That's what a lot of people say. That's
Yeah,
never happened to me before.
I know. When it usually has. Okay, that's funny. All these shows are melding into one. Okay.